Welcome to a nourishing midweek lunch hour conversation with Spokane's newsmakers, thought leaders, and popular entertainers. Spokane Talks Live is brought to you by our friends at Homes for You and Breakthrough Incorporated. Welcome to Spokane Talks Live.
Welcome to Spokane Talks Live. Today is the 6th of, I wanted to say July, not quite yet, Ken, June. It's the anniversary of D-Day. And let's stop for a moment and thank those who literally saved the world, the United States and other countries back in World War II. We've got some fun and some interesting exchanges today on Spokane Talks Live. Camille Troxel from the Visit Spokane is going to be here. She's substituting for Kate Hudson, who is working a convention and a meeting down in New Orleans, right? New Orleans. Yes, right. Probably muggy and everything else down there, so I think we're doing a little better.
She said it's super hot.
Super hot. Oh, Lord. Yeah, I'm sure. It's stay inside in the air conditioning, right? Yvonne Johnson and Andrea Olsen from the Spokane Valley Summer Theatre are going to be here, and they're talking about a couple things they're doing this summer. This should be really interesting. And Phil Tyler, my friend Phil Tyler, community leader, is going to be here, and I asked Phil to come in because I want to talk about some of the things that have been said by Roseanne Barr and some of the uproar last week. And Phil is one I figured I could have a conversation with. So we're going to talk today. Next on Spokane Talks Live.
For the Inland Northwest's most comprehensive sports report, think outside the porch with spokesman.com. For just 99 cents for the first month, you'll enjoy unlimited digital access to the news and sports news that affect you most. From EWU to WSU, from Northwest Preps all the way to the Seahawks, we're the local authority that makes sports in the Inland Northwest different than the rest, better than the rest. On your phone, on your desktop, and on your tablet. Subscribe to the digital experience with spokesman.com.
See you tomorrow night, and thanks again for taking care of the painting.
I got this.
Bye.
Weekends are made for painting. Let the experts at Rada Paint take care of you.
Hi. This looks amazing.
Rada Paint, over 80 years of quality, tradition, and trust. Find it in every can.
Well, welcome. It's a great day. It's a sunny day out there. Enjoy it today and tomorrow and even maybe Friday, because we're going to get some rain and some cooler weather as we get into the weekend. Of course, graduation weekend. Why not? Camille Troxel. Did I get that right?
You did. You said it
All
right.
right. You're substituting for Kate Hudson?
I am. She left me. She abandoned me.
Yeah, well, okay. So sometimes second best is good, though, you know.
Second best?
Well, you know, she kind of has that permanent spot, but you can try out for it.
Just because she's the permanent spot doesn't mean that I'm second best.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, as usual, I'm corrected. Story of my life, okay? Good things are happening. Well, I love this segment every month because I'm so impressed with the great things that we have in Spokane. And of course, I always talk to her about when we're coming into May, because May is so big.
May is a big month, yeah.
It is a big month. But June isn't bad either. Little things like Hoop Fest and a number of other things.
Just little things called Hoop
Just
Fest.
little things like that.
Things.
But first of all, we have the Sugarland coming on my birthday tomorrow, Friday.
Happy birthday, Kent.
Thank you, thank you.
I don't believe Kate when she says you're old as dirt, so
yeah,
I don't believe it.
I'm a dirt that's way down, down at the dinosaur level. Okay, thanks for bringing that up.
She told me to.
Okay, yeah, she's great, and you are too. Obviously, you get it. That we have a little bit of fun here today. Tell me about that.
Yeah, Sugarland, famous award-winning country duo. They've been kind of off the radar for a while, but this tour. They're still the same tour. Is their big return to the stage, so it's much anticipated.
Okay.
They have a new hit single out called "Babe," written by Taylor Swift, and she's on the track.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, it's a fun one.
So kind of you drop a name, kind of a name dropper, aren't you?
Yes, a little bit.
Okay.
T Swift and I were besties. But the tour, what's special about this too is they released their new album comes out tomorrow as well.
Ooh.
So on the day that they're playing in Spokane, so I am pretty sure it's going to be a pretty rockin' show for some country music fans.
That's neat. So it's going to be at the Spokane Arena.
Spokane Arena.
Are there more seats available?
There are. There are definitely tickets available. Okay. And fans of the show, the TV show Nashville, have you seen that?
No.
Are you a super fan like me, Kent?
No.
No? Okay.
Sorry.
Claire Bowen, who plays Scarlett O'Connor on Nashville, is opening.
Okay.
As well as Brandy Clark. So that's sure to be a fun, just great show of
That's
music
great.
for y'all.
And that points out we've had some darn good acts coming
We
to
have.
Spokane. I mean, not just at the arena, but at the Bing and at the Fox Theater
Yeah.
and so
At
forth.
Northern
We
Quest,
get them
yeah.
here in Spokane.
Oh, yeah, we
don't
do.
we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's always a great time. Spokane really welcomes it.
I get
Hosts a
from
good show.
friends outside this area, oh, yeah, you're just in Spokane. It's like it's a sleepy little town. I'm
Please.
going, yeah, what's his name? Garth Brooks was here to 7 or 8 sold-out performances, blah, blah. Oh, okay. It's like you actually get people to show up. Yes, we do.
We
We
get
do.
great
And
Broadway
probably better
shows.
venues than some of the others in terms of when you go to some of these big cities.
Yeah, I would rather.
Park-
I mean, I don't want to go to a huge stadium unless I mean, if I
not to
have
mention parking and everything else
Yeah,
that goes
yeah.
with it. Hey, some great horse and carriage rides going on.
Yeah, so the
It's
free
that time.
It's that time of year. The free horse and carriage rides from Wheatland Bank are back on
Okay.
Friday nights in downtown Spokane.
Okay.
So it's first come first serve from 5 to 9, and they pick up on Wall and Spokane Falls Boulevard,
Okay,
that walking
yes,
street.
yes.
And it's just a great time, so you can come down and maybe ride the carousel in its new building, do some roller skating on the
fun.
ribbon,
Yeah.
and hitch a carriage ride, and maybe grab dinner with your family, and great way
So
to
what you're
experience
telling
downtown.
me is there are some things to do downtown.
That might be what I'm telling you. Yes,
okay.
there's just a few things. Yeah,
And we really are improving things. And
Yeah.
and the park's coming along. That's great. It's all coming together, isn't it?
Oh, it's so. I took my cousin. He was in town last night, and we took a walk through the park.
Oh,
and
fun.
He hasn't lived here for a while, so he had all these memories, and it was
yes.
just so nice to
and
show him.
and
those
everything's
improvements.
new now.
Yeah,
I mean, a lot of
and
new
it's
things.
beautiful and just lovely to sit by the
Well,
fountain
that's
out
great.
there, grab a
I
carriage
see
ride.
it's from June 1st to July 27th.
Yeah.
Is it every day?
It's Fridays.
Fridays. Okay.
Fridays
okay.
from 5 p.m. to 9
Okay.
p.m. First come, first serve.
Okay. Well, that's the night to go downtown too.
Yeah.
It really is, and
So
take
much
the
to do
family
down there.
too. Arborcrest's got some things going on.
Yes. Their summer concert series is
Yes.
back. Have you been to one of the concerts on the
No,
cliff?
I haven't, but one of the folks who did it just last week or the week before, Justin James Live, was in on our program. In fact, we do a barbecue for our sponsors and guests and hosts and so forth coming up in July, and he's going to entertain them during the luncheon here at the station. What a nice young man. You know, and so they continue to have some good names.
They have
up
some
there.
good names,
Yeah.
and I don't have the list of all the names,
Right.
but it's Thursdays and Sundays. That goes through September, and so you can go up there. I
Right.
believe it's $5 to get in, and
That's
then
all?
that's all.
Okay.
And you can buy a bottle of wine or do a wine tasting. Bring a picnic. That's what my girlfriends and I
And
like
that's
to
what I
do.
noticed too, was that you can bring your own food. You know, it's
Yep.
not like you're locked into a $40 or $50 snack for dinner.
Yeah, no, you
know.
can bring your own picnic. You can bring beverages. You can bring non-alcoholic beverages that
Okay.
are sealed. They need to be sealed.
Right.
And then you can purchase wine on the property. They have beer now.
Okay.
Made by the winemaker's brother, who's
Okay.
making beer. But it's just a great property to go out and put a blanket down and hang out with friends.
Now, the annual street music
Yes.
is coming up.
The Street Music Festival. Street Music Week. Sorry, not
Yeah.
festival.
Well,
Should be
it
a
is
festival.
kind of a festival.
Yeah, Street Music Week. It raises money for Second Harvest.
Right.
Last year, they collected nearly $180,000.
Wait, you said 180,000?
That's what I said. Yes.
Wow.
$180,000 for
Wow.
Second Harvest Food
I
Bank.
knew they did well, but I didn't think it was that good.
Yeah, they did really well. So you'll have street music performers. You'll see them downtown during the noon hour, up in the Garland district during the noon
Okay.
hour, and then out in Coeur d'Alene as well. And that's just a fun time to walk around. And they're on different corners, different
Right,
types
right,
of acts. You have
right.
families, you have
You
bands.
can see several in just a block or two
Yeah,
of distance. Yeah.
Super fun. So
Yeah.
really fills up downtown with some lively
Well,
music.
one of my favorites, I've never done it, but I love the location, and that's the Ride of the Hiawatha.
Root of the Hiawatha.
Route.
Did I say
Okay.
Root of the
All right,
Hiawatha?
All right. Kent didn't read it right. Okay.
And it is considered the crown jewel
Yes.
of rail to trail
Okay. Yes.
paths. So you go over
What a
train
great use
trestles.
of an old railroad
It's so beautiful,
track
too.
And route.
Kent, you got to
isn't
get
it?
out there.
Yeah.
So yeah, you
It's
can.
downhill.
It is.
I like
It's a
it.
slight incline. You don't have to ride back up.
Right.
So
No, I know
they
you-
pick you up at the bottom, take you back to the top.
Those are the kind I like.
You can rent a bike. You
Okay.
can rent a helmet. You can rent a light. You
Okay.
can rent a bike hitch. So there's no excuse not to.
I saw someone who was trying it out a week or two ago, and they said going through the tunnels was a little bit cold. It wasn't
Yeah,
quite
you do.
ready yet.
Yeah, the tunnel, because it's dark and it's a mile long. The first one
Yeah.
is. There's a couple tunnels, but you might want to bring a light jacket
Okay.
for those dress in layers. But it's super fun. When I've done it, we pack a picnic in our packs and pull off to the side, and so that's one, and that goes through September, so you have plenty of time to check that out and plan for that with that pass.
Always look forward to that. Just it says summer.
Yeah.
In the inland Northwest.
So beautiful.
It really does. Yeah. Outdoor movies at Riverfront Park.
This is one of my favorite things.
Oh, okay.
I go every week.
Do you remember some of the movies that are coming up?
Well, so it starts in June. It kicks off with Wonder Woman.
Okay.
The new one, which I haven't seen.
Oh, okay.
And then Jumanji, the new one.
I thought that was you.
You thought it was me? Oh.
Wonder Woman.
I mean, I am
in
different ways. Different ways.
Okay.
I don't have like my little truth. I don't have my wristbands.
All right.
Or my lasso. I don't have my truth lasso.
I kind of know what you're talking about, but I can't say I've seen the movies. Okay.
I haven't seen it yet, so I'm excited. But this month, Wonder Woman, the new Jumanji, the one that came out in 2017.
Right.
And then Ferdinand rounds out June, and then they go through July as well. And it's every Wednesday, $5. I think kids under 5 are free. I like to bring my dog with me. So we walk down to the park. We have a chair. Bring my dog. I get her an ice cream.
Okay. You get the dog an ice cream?
Yes.
Okay.
She gets a gluten-free, dairy-free, vegan ice cream treat.
I wouldn't be accused of spoiling our animals at all either. So.
No, it's just a super fun time. It's just a pleasant evening out in the Lilac Bowl. So fun for the whole family all summer long.
And then it's batter up.
Baseball.
Yeah.
I have to send a list, and I gave you a really great description. I think I just wrote it's baseball.
Yes, that is what you did. That is what you did. It starts June 15th.
It starts June 15th with fireworks that night, and I believe they have games on the 16th and 17th, and they have a few more throughout June and then into the summer.
Right.
They run a short season, but it's a lot of fun. It's affordable fun for the family.
It's great, and it really is focused not only on the baseball, but having fun at the stadium.
Yeah.
Which is what I think the minor league teams have really figured out, and Spokane is a good example of that. And we have a great stadium, well past the league standings and so forth. I mean, we just have a great place to play baseball, and have for, I don't know, 50 years or whatever the number of years are. But I love it out there. It's great.
I have to take your word for it. I've never seen an entire baseball game ever. Of any kind. I went last year because we go as an office every year.
But you had other
it got
things
rained
to do.
out. No, it was like a thunderstorm, and I was like, of course, my first baseball game, and it's pouring rain.
Okay, so they're trying to keep you away? Is that what you
like I'm just not supposed to watch baseball. But we have another staff night out there, so I'm excited to see my first complete 9 innings.
Let me know what night you're going, so I don't go in case it's.
You think of bad luck?
I don't know. I'm just trying to play the odds here.
Okay.
Something's going on at Northern Quest Casino.
Northern Quest Casino, another big night for country fans. Little big town. There's 4 of them.
Okay.
A group of 4, and they have great harmonies. They're known for their harmony sound and country music.
I have to admit, I've not heard of them, but there are a lot of acts today that I don't know. I'm way back in the Dean Martin and Barry Manilow and those days, and you've probably not even heard of them.
Oh, I know my way around some Barry Manilow.
Okay.
Yeah, I know some Barry Manilow. Little Big Town, one of the biggest names in country music, and they're known for their huge hits, Pontoon, Girl Crush, my favorite, Better Man, also written by Taylor Swift. I told you, we're besties.
It's like she's tasking here, isn't she?
Yeah, so that's part of their Pepsi Outdoor Summer Concert Series, and that is on June 18th.
And they've got some big names coming this summer.
They really do. I'm trying to decide.
And aren't they building a new place to sit and everything out there?
Yeah,
too?
I believe so.
I know
there's a lot going on out there, and I lose track. So they have some new restaurants out there. They're building a new RV park, a kids zone, a movie theater.
Okay.
So there's all sorts of action going on at Northern Quest.
The next thing is a little bizarre.
You went for the dad joke on me there, didn't you?
I know.
Yeah,
I did. Okay, so tell the folks what I mean by that.
Bazaar is a festival of handmade goods and local artists, a celebration of those things it was started to make art a little more accessible to folks, and handcrafted items a little more accessible. It was started by the folks who are behind Terrain.
Okay,
So that group of folks, and art, accessories, jewelry, clothing, they have everything. There's also I think they have a beer garden, and it's right in the heart of downtown. I actually bought my purse there last summer.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
okay.
Handcrafted leather. But it's so great.
And then there's the thing that's about as big as Bloomsday and everything else, and that's called
just a
Hoop
little
Fest.
event. Yeah, just a little event we call
a little
Hoop Fest.
3-on-3 basketball.
Little 3.
Yeah. When is that?
That is June 30th through July 1st. It's
Okay.
always the very last weekend
It's always
of June.
It starts at least on the last Saturday.
Yes, it's the
And
last
so this
Saturday
year,
of June.
July starts the next day.
Yeah, it does. So it just worked out that way.
Yeah.
So it's sure to be a hot one this year because it's a little later.
Yeah, I'm
little,
guessing.
I think it's going to be hot.
We've had a couple
But-
hot ones. you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
With the asphalt and whose fault was it? With the asphalt and the concrete and everything else.
did it again,
I
honey.
know.
He
I
went
know.
for it.
I know. I get spanked a lot for that, or slapped, I guess. Is it? Camille,
yeah.
this is good information, and there's a way for people to access this and all the other things going on because you narrowed the list down. Where do they find out?
Visit Spokane.com.
All right.
My baby, that's what I do when I'm not doing Kate's job.
Yeah.
I'm in charge of that, the whole thing.
Okay.
Visit Spokane.com, click on events. Hard to miss. It's at the very top of the homepage. Tons of events there for
And
you.
you can even go on our website and link to Visit
Ooh.
Spokane. How's that?
You gave me a link back?
Yes, we
Oh,
did.
that improves
I
my
know.
rankings.
All right. All right. Camille, you're a joy to have here.
Thank you.
Feel free to come anytime that Kate can't, or come with Kate and the two of you.
Well, I have to come when Kate can't. So
Yeah, okay. Sorry
Yeah.
about that. All right.
Whoops.
So you drew the short straw is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't have to
Yeah.
agree with that quite so fast. Okay. Camille, thanks. You're a pleasure. We're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to come back and talk about summer theater out in the valley.
See you tomorrow night, and thanks again for taking care of the painting.
I got this.
Bye.
Weekends are made for painting. Let the experts at Rada Paint take care of you.
Hi. This looks amazing.
Rada Paint, over 80 years of quality, tradition, and trust. Find it in every can.
To find the right home for you, you'll work with your realtor to compare the properties you're interested in, analyze the market, and figure out a reasonable offer price. And now, here you are, ready to make an offer. Yay, you! Here's how it works. First, you'll complete an offer sheet which your realtor will then present to the owner. Sometimes, a nice note to the owner can help your offer stand out. Butter them up. Tell them how much you love their garden, that it reminds you of gardening with your grandmother as a child. Do not mention you're gonna bulldoze it and put in a pool. The owner may accept the offer, reject it, or counter. It's important to be in close contact with your realtor during the negotiation process so any changes can be reviewed. Your realtor is like your consigliere, and that makes you the Don. Once your offer is finally accepted, there are usually some contingencies that must be met in order to keep the contract alive. Inspections are totally common in real estate transactions. They include termite checks, surveys to determine boundaries, appraisals to determine value for lenders, title reviews, and structural inspections. This stuff is mind-numbingly fascinating. But you know what's even more fascinating? Actually getting your new house.
To help you be safe, Washington state law requires you to call 811 2 full business days before you plan, for example, to dig, drill, plow, pull from, or pound anything into the ground. Be prepared to provide the operator with the correct address, cross street, and the description of your work. You must mark the dig area with white paint. The operator will inform you of the utilities notified of your impending excavation. Wait for all their marks. Be safe and dig with care.
Welcome back to Spokane Talks Live. Kent Adams here. And this summer, some good things are happening. We just talked with the Visit Spokane person about all the great things. And one of the things not mentioned is Into the Woods, but that's July, so we didn't get to it,
That's
okay?
true.
So that's her only excuse.
Sure.
Right?
That's- yeah.
We have Andrea Olsen.
That's
Ian.
me. Yes, Ian.
Yes, okay.
Yes.
And Yvonne Johnson. I'm looking down just to be sure I get it right. You guys have been working together on this for I don't know how many years, but
Well, we just counted. This is our 21st show together.
Is it really?
21. Yeah.
Wow.
That's a
Wow.
lot. Yeah. We kind of know each other.
No kidding. Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Yeah. When she's directing, does she come up and say, "I know you want to do this, but you're going to do it this way"?
Yeah.
Does she know? Okay.
Yeah, and I say yes, ma'am.
Yes.
I'd be happy to.
Okay. The person that's not here that I'm going to mention just because he may be watching right now at school is
Colin Pittman.
Okay.
Hi, Colin.
and Colin the other day said something. He didn't get back to me on something. He said, "I'm a slacker," and I'm going, that word is
That
not
is
in
not-
your
no.
vocabulary.
It's not a word used to
What is he
describe him.
doing this summer?
He is stage
Stage
managing for
Okay.
us, yes.
Okay.
So I have to take orders from him, too.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Well,
I love
and if
it.
anybody remembers last year, we talked about how he studied voice with me. So
Yeah. Yes, that's right.
It
That's
used
right.
to be the other way around, but yeah.
Okay. That's what happens
kidding,
with
Colin.
these darn kids when
I
they start
know.
to grow up,
That's right.
Tell me about what year is this in terms of the Spokane Valley Summer Theatre?
We're in year 3 right now. It's hard
Okay.
to believe. It's
Yep.
been
Okay.
flying by.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you have a little bit of an abbreviated summer because they're
Condensed.
doing some construction at, is it
Central
Central
Valley
Valley High
High
School?
School. Yep.
And so they got to get you in and get you out in time so they can do some things
Right.
for
They've
when
gotta
school.
repair the HVAC system, which
Right,
is a
right.
little important in the
Yeah,
summer.
I noticed some comments about, thank God.
Yeah.
Yes.
So apparently
Last
in the
summer
summertime,
was rather,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
We
hot.
ran on swamp coolers
Yes.
last
Swamp-
summer
oh,
for a
really?
while.
Oh,
And they're not
goodness.
terribly
Cool.
effective.
No, well, they did the job, but it was not.
No.
It's not the
No.
same. It can't replace air conditioning.
Tell
So
us about Into the Woods. What is that about?
Well, Into the Woods, I guess in a nutshell, how I would put it is when you're looking at the Act 1 for the show,
Okay.
you look at all of these Grimm's fairy tale people that are coming together in
Okay.
one story.
Right.
And in Act 1, you see the lives that you expect to see
Okay.
in this fairy tale. And
Then-
and we're in the woods with all of them.
Yes.
And
Okay.
then when we get into Act 2, that becomes the ever after.
Ah, okay.
And it's so, the difference between Act 1 and Act 2 is quite extreme.
Oh,
you know.
okay.
Act
And-
1 ends just the way you think it's going.
Oh,
Everybody's
okay,
happy.
okay.
Everybody's
Yeah,
happy.
yeah.
And I have to admit, the first time I watched the show, it was on DVD.
Yes.
I went, oh, well, that was great.
Yeah.
And then the thing came up and it
Coulda
said,
skimmed through that without any problem.
Yeah, good. What a great show. And then you watch Act 2 and you think, oh, I was not expecting that. So yeah, so it's.
But isn't that fun for the audience?
It is fun. And what I think is really interesting is they've taken all of those characters that we know so well. So
Yes.
Cinderella and Rapunzel and the witch. There has to be a witch, of course.
Okay.
And Jack and the Beanstalk.
Yes.
And they've taken and interwoven them
Okay.
all. So they run into each other where you wouldn't expect them to. And that's what's so creative about it. I think
Yeah.
it's just brilliant. But yes, they have this.
So what is your role in this?
Well, I am, of course, I'm the witch.
Oh, so typecasting, is that what you're saying?
No, it's not typecasting. No.
Sorry,
Well, I have to
you
say-
made that too easy
I know
for
I
me.
did.
Yeah.
I did. Because, well, here's what's so funny, because one of the shows that we have done before is Into the Woods, but I was Rapunzel,
Okay.
and that was how long ago?
At least a decade
Yes.
ago.
Oh,
We
really?
did that
Yes.
in concert.
So
Yeah.
so I played Rapunzel. So now
Yeah.
I'm playing the witch, and
So now
the
you
witch-
kind of let
Rapunzel.
down your hair
I've
in a
let down
different
my-
way.
yeah.
Okay.
Well, and part of that challenge, I think, for Andrea, out of these 21 shows,
Yes.
I mean, she's never played this character. I mean, there's a transition for the witch.
Okay.
I don't want to give too much away.
No.
That occurs.
Okay.
But she is very much a witch
Okay, so
before she becomes a sorceress.
not a witch,
okay.
Right.
and the enchantress.
Yes.
Okay, so now who
Yes.
else is in this, and what are playing some what characters?
Oh, my
any
goodness.
folks we know?
Yes.
Absolutely. It's a great cast of community members from
Okay.
all over.
Yes.
We have Mike Mazzacco playing the baker,
Okay.
Callie
Callie
McKinney-Cabe playing
Okay.
the baker's
We've
wife.
seen
Okay.
on Coeur d'Alene Summer Theatre stages a lot.
And I understand you have Gunnar playing something.
Yes, we have Gunnar Rohrholm.
Yes.
And
Is he playing the front end or the back end?
Well, I think they're still sorting it out.
I think he's
Maybe
gonna
we
be
better-
the back
He's
end.
the back end. When I left,
Maybe we better explain what we're talking
yes,
about.
well,
Okay.
there is a cow, and the cow plays a very important role. The cow has to be people.
Yes.
So most of the productions do use 2 people because the back end has to move and
Yes,
the front
yes.
end has to move, and so they usually use 2 people. So anyway, he's a dear friend of his. Playing
Piper Burney.
Piper Burney,
Okay.
who she was in Annie.
Yes.
We were,
Yes.
Okay.
So it
Yes,
was. We've been friends with all these people for a long
Yes.
time. It's great. So the two of when I left the costume fitting, she was the back end. So it must have switched. So they flip flopped. So yes.
And his mom
there's-
is involved too.
She's
Yes, Marnie Rohrholm.
Yes.
And she is playing
I mean,
Granny.
like, what
She's
isn't-
too young
what
to
isn't
play
she
Granny.
involved
She's
in,
the
right?
granny. Well, that's
Yeah,
true.
yeah,
That's true.
yeah.
She's
Yeah.
the granny.
The Granny is she's a riot of a
Hilarious.
role to get to
Yes.
play.
Yes.
Okay,
And
so now
she's
we'll-
a great comedian, character actress.
Yeah, will Colin have oversight over some of these folks?
Oh yes, he's the
Okay.
stage manager. So when
Okay.
when
You have to listen
he's
to
the
Colin.
boss
Oh, boy.
backstage.
Oh,
Yep.
boy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think he'll enjoy
Should we
it.
have a moment of prayer for
Well,
everybody? I'm kidding.
No,
we love Colin.
He is
He's-
great, and he's
yeah.
so organized, and he's
Oh, God,
so
yes.
just chipper and bright, and
Yeah.
friendly. So he'll do a
Yeah,
great job.
he's an 18-year-old. He's a 36-year-old in
Stuck
an
in an
18-year-old
18-year-old's
body.
body. No,
yeah,
it's true.
yeah,
It's
it
true.
really is because I can
Yeah.
talk to him across the table, and it's like talking to an adult.
Yes.
And yeah.
No,
anyway,
he's
he's
wonderful.
got a great summer this year, and looking forward to this. I know
Absolutely.
that.
And then our part of our abridged sort of condensed
Yes.
version of Summer Theater is Into the Woods, of course, which runs for 3 weeks.
Right.
Opens July 13th.
13th, right?
But then we are doing an in-concert, Broadway in-concert.
Yeah, now what
again.
is that about?
Well, it's a kind of a one-night showcase.
Okay.
With sort of highlights of the best of Broadway, if you will.
Okay.
And
Do
and-
anything from Phantom?
Well, I don't know that we've actually really
We
decided
haven't.
yet.
Oh,
So we
okay.
sort of are in
Okay.
the midst of that and plotting it out. So we'll have some current SVST members, some former
Okay.
SVST performers. That
And you
maybe
just
could
do
the show.
musical
And
stuff.
it's just sort of,
That's
sort of
fun.
song after song. There's
Wow.
no story. It's
Yeah,
just sort
yeah.
of, kind of a
But there's so
review.
much good music from Broadway.
Absolutely.
You know.
And we try to do things that people would know.
Do you know Nick Gripe?
No.
Okay.
Should we?
Yeah, I don't. Well, probably
Okay.
so. He's doing some things at the Civic, but he's also does stuff at, I think it's East Valley or Central Valley.
Okay.
His mom is the morning anchor at KXLY.
Well, there you go.
But he was in one time. They were touting some kind of performance they were doing and all that,
Nice.
and so he was on the program, and I was asking all of the students, because there are about 5 or 6 of them here, what their favorite musical was, and Nick comes along and I think he said something, well, can you guess? And I said, well, it's anything as long as it's Phantom of the Opera, and his eyes just, that's his favorite. So we have a great rapport in that we both love Phantom of the Opera. I've only been probably 12 or 15 times.
Only?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
only
I just
once this
been
last.
Have to
twice.
sing
So
from that this year
twice.
so that we have Kent in the house.
Yes,
We do take
that's why I was
requests.
asking.
Yes,
okay.
that's what I'm
Okay.
thinking.
Well,
that
that's-
you may have to.
I can.
Yeah.
Yes, I can.
I honestly-
You may have to
Christine.
think of me.
Yes.
Yeah, and you know enough of the play of the Phantom that I think the hard part is Christine.
Oh yes.
You know, they give a lot of credit to the Phantom, but if you think about what she has to sing,
Oh yes. Well, and the other
That's
part
not easy.
is the growth of the character.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
That's tricky.
well, okay. Most importantly, how can people get tickets to this? Because these are at a decent price, and
Absolutely.
you must have a website, right?
Yes, we do.
We do. You can get tickets at www.svsummertheater.com, and theater is RE for us.
Right,
Yes,
yeah.
and you can order the
That's
tickets
how I
right
always
online.
spell it.
Yeah,
That's
and
the
we don't
correct
have
way.
any hidden ticket fees either.
You know,
so
that's really
the price
nice.
of the ticket
You
is
pay for the price
of
and
the
that's it,
ticket.
right.
You get an account. That's one of the nice
Okay.
things that you set up. You can manage your own account. You can do your exchanges, and we're not charging any additional
Oh, wow.
fees for doing
Wow.
that. So
That's great.
Yeah.
We do have a Facebook page.
Yes?
Yes.
So you can see announcements and
Okay.
follow us there.
All right.
So yeah, we're.
Well,
we're
I'm
out
looking
there.
forward to this. This is going to be fun. I will show up, not to give you a bad time, but to give the stage manager a bad time, if for no other
Absolutely.
reason.
Right.
Okay.
Well, definitely.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, you could come every night and do that if you wanted.
Okay, I might do that. All right.
Yes.
You guys, this is fun. Thanks for coming.
Thank you
so much
Keep us
for having us.
posted as you start to get close to doing that Broadway night.
Yes.
Come
It's July
back.
25th, incidentally.
Okay, come back so we can talk about some of the numbers
That'd be
and things.
great.
Okay.
That would be
We'd
great.
love
Yeah,
to be
because
back. Yes.
I want to know.
Absolutely.
Okay, because there are some great choices out there. Again, Andrea and Yvonne, thank you very much.
Thank you.
We're gonna
It's
take
our
a-
pleasure.
We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back right after this.
Hi everyone, I'm weather forecaster and assignment anchor at Spokane Talks Online, Colin Pittman, and I am honored to be the host of the new program, Spokane's Youth Spotlight, brought to you by Spokane Talks Online and the Spokesman Review, where we are interviewing and getting to know outstanding youth in our community each month. If you'd like to nominate someone in our community that you think should be recognized, that is doing something great here in the region or has an amazing story, visit SpokaneTalksOnline.com or Spokesman.com and look under Youth Spotlight to nominate. And be sure to tune in each month as we find the best in the Inland Northwest.
Hi, I'm Larry Myers, owner of River Ridge Hardware. Welcome to our garden center here on the corner of Garland and Driscoll. We have fresh plants that come in weekly from all of our local growers. We can make your garden look like our garden. Here at River Ridge, we've been here 30 years. We're your full-service neighborhood hardware store. This is our sprinkler aisle where my knowledgeable staff will help you put together your sprinkler system so it will make your yard lush green for the spring and summer. This is River Ridge Hardware's rental center where we provide a multitude of equipment for rent for the do-it-yourselfer. Next time you're working on your home or yard this spring and summer, stop by, say hi, and we'll help you get the project done.
See you tomorrow night, and thanks again for taking care of the painting.
I got this.
Bye.
Weekends are made for painting. Let the experts at Rada Paint take care of you.
Hi. This looks amazing.
Rada Paint, over 80 years of quality, tradition, and trust. Find it in every can.
Welcome back. We got my good friend and community leader and Spokane troublemaker and everything else, Phil Tyler. How are you? You haven't been in here for a couple weeks. By the way, actually, the way to introduce you would be you're Meg Demand's husband, and she's having a birthday today. So shout out to Meg in terms of your birthday today. I haven't had a chance to say anything on Facebook yet. It's been one of those days.
Yeah.
But she didn't come along, did she? I didn't see her out.
No, she
in the
did
green
not.
room.
She's busy out.
Yeah.
Doing the important things.
Hey, my immediate reaction to some of what went on last week, Roseanne Barr, and then you get, Samantha Bee, and all of that, and the nastiness that's out there. And I don't know, Phil, in my mind, I thought we had passed all of that crap and that we could get along a little better. And I know there's the poking of this and that and everything else, but you and I disagree on some things once in a while, but we sure get along.
Sure.
Why do we have to go after someone's color or what they may or may not look like, or call people nasty names and so forth? How do we get past this? And I know you have the answer, right?
I wish I did. I think you hit the nail on the head, though. We really do need to get past it, Kent.
Yes.
And what we're witnessing right now is civil discourse is endangered.
Yes.
And soon to be extinct if we're not careful.
Yeah.
With this recent controversy, though, the Roseanne Barr thing, I would say this up front. I thought what she said was completely offensive. I thought it was a racist
clearly
statement. And the response that ABC took is their response. Here's the thing. If you're an actor, if you're an athlete, if you're a superstar, and you're so privileged that you believe you can make a statement that would offend those who sign your paycheck, you probably should be careful.
Yeah.
Your staff wouldn't come on the show.
So many are doing that today, though.
Yes, they are. But what we need to do as individuals is not blame the groups, the entities, the genders, the races.
Right.
Blame the individual.
Yes.
Just like they blamed Ms. Barr they should blame Samantha Bee. Now, if the network that employs her decides to terminate her, which they have every right to do so, because I thought what she said was offensive as well.
Yeah.
That's their decision.
Right.
But you should be calling out the individual, not
Yes.
a group of persons.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's what's sad with Roseanne's case, because now the group, the cast,
Yes.
the behind the scenes people are impacted as well.
Yeah, yeah.
And if they don't speak out, they are somehow
Associated with it.
agree with what she believes
Right.
in. And I think that's disingenuous.
And almost you're at a point where you shouldn't have to speak out against it, against what she said. It should just be a given that what she said was offensive and stupid.
Sure,
You know?
but there's a place
Yeah.
for those to do it. I don't know that it's necessarily social media, because
Yeah.
social media is becoming the anti-social media.
Yeah, yeah.
Be perfectly honest. It's funny because when you look at these things, what you find, I think, especially in the tenor of the nation that we're in right now, is you're finding people picking sides.
Yes, yes.
And they'll justify behavior with those that agree with their agenda.
Yeah.
And that's the problem with agendas, because sometimes they can be hidden.
Yeah.
And so you'll see people on the left say Roseanne Barr should have been fired, X, Y, and Z. You'll see people on the right saying, well, she was only terminated because she supports our president. You'll say people, Samantha Bee should be fired, on the right. People on the left saying, well, she's just a comedian and she's expressing her free speech.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, there's also some decency in free speech too.
I agree.
I
agree.
I get that we can basically say whatever we want. I could call you whatever I want, I
Sure.
guess, and you can to me too. But at some point, why? Why do we need to do that? Because we really all, for the most part, agree on so much. I was offended a bit the other day by some of the response on the ruling against the baker.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
And the call for, well, it's time to eliminate the Supreme Court. Give me a break.
I wouldn't agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, come on. But there's some folks out there that believe that.
Sure.
I don't like it, so eliminate it. And we need to have a better discussion. I mean, there was an official the other day, I can't remember who it was, who was saying, that we need to eliminate the Constitution. It's like, come on. That's what, as good or bad in some cases as it may be, it's not perfect.
No.
But it's darn good compared to the rest of the world. I mean, you look at what's going on around the world, and we keep improving on it. That's why we have amendments to the Constitution.
Agreed.
You know?
Agreed. I think we're just at a place right now where agendas drive everything. And this is a national issue that you're talking about, this Roseanne thing, but we saw it locally here in Spokane with our own council. We had a councilwoman call an individual sexual predator to other people. Now, should a council person get recalled, or should they be called to the carpet about that? Those are offensive comments too.
Yeah.
We're
or
getting to a point.
you go to our representative and people stand up and turn around and face away. They can't sit there to have a conversation with somebody.
Sure.
I don't get it.
And if you want to do those kind of things, and those are peaceable things, but when you're calling names, when you're calling labels to people, that's where communication, that's where our discourse breaks down. And that, I was reading, and I printed it up before I got here, the Federalist Papers. 1700s, right? Late 1700s.
I remember them well.
Do you? Okay. Yeah. And there's a statement in there that I think is really poignant and speaks to where we are at today.
Yeah.
In the 1787, and I'll read it for you. It says, "So strong is this propensity of mankind to fall into mutual animosities that where no substantial occasion presents itself, the most frivolous and fanciful distinctions have been sufficient to kindle their unfriendly passions and excite the most violent conflicts."
Wow.
Now,
how forward-thinking is that,
absolutely.
right?
And I'm not saying the statements that were made by Miss B and Miss Barr are frivolous and fanciful. What I'm saying is the distinction of they are Republican supporters or conservative supporters, they are liberal supporters or progressive. Those are frivolous distinctions that are creating such a divide in our community, our country, our nation. It's unnecessary.
Well, and there are some extremes in both parties.
Absolutely.
And I feel, and I've said this before, I don't know if I've said it to you or not, but I actually feel sorry for the Democrat Party nationally right now, because the extreme folks have taken over and are getting the coverage. and some of the extreme things. It's kind of the hell no, impeach it, all of that.
Sure.
We don't like the fact that we now have something we've never had before, and that is we have more people seeking jobs than we have. More jobs than people seeking jobs, and we've never experienced that before. Okay,
nice.
There's something going on that's right there. Okay, that people are working, and by that. Just that process alone is going to drive wages up, because if I'm going to hire you, I'm going to be competing with somebody else out there, and I better have a good wage or a good salary, right?
Absolutely.
Because now you have, and I don't mean just you,
choices.
But now you
Options.
have choices. From before is, all I can do is take a McDonald's job at $11.50 an hour or whatever. Now there are choices out there, and we business people have to ante up and pay and have the benefits and everything else.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think what you're seeing is there's a silent majority out there that doesn't exist on the periphery of either side.
Yeah.
But what happens is they are the silent majority. The loudest voices are being heard now. And you talked about the progressive side, where sometimes when you're so loud about tolerance, you can become intolerant without noticing it. But things happening on the right side as well. You just recently saw the gentleman down in Whitman County,
WSU,
who was able to get in the position of a PCO, and when the Congresswoman speaks out against that, instead of people saying that's the appropriate thing to do, they rail against her about other issues.
Because it's your party.
Sure.
Look what your party did.
We shouldn't group people into to narratives.
No.
I wouldn't come on a show with an older white male if that were the case.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have a guest on that was a younger, handsome black male.
I'm not.
If that were the
I'm
case.
I'm not an older white male. I'm an ancient white male. Okay, let's get it right.
But if I grouped you in a group that said
exactly.
all older white males are bigoted and don't want to speak with younger black men, we'd never have a conversation.
Well,
and if you start thinking about me, we'd never have a conversation, Ken. And that's where we're at. Let's talk about individuals, not groups or parties or our ideologies. It just creates this divide.
Well, and I told you the story, and we won't mention the names or the circumstances, but of someone here in town, very prominent in the minority community and in the what I would call the poor community, helping single women and everything else, who labeled me and another person as old white men. Okay, I would not label you as black man. You are, but I would label you as a man,
or just Phil,
and
I'd say Kent.
Yeah, exactly. Why do I have to be an old white man? Does that mean I can't have any empathy or any understanding? You'll never get it?
Sure.
I don't know what you've gone through. I don't know all that you face and your family faces and those kinds of things. I'll admit that up front. But I can have some empathy for it, and I can learn about it. Sure. But just because I'm white, there's nothing I can do about that. Nothing I can do about being old either.
Sure.
Okay. and there's nothing you can do about being much younger and being black, okay?
Yeah.
So let's celebrate some of the differences, but more important, let's all celebrate what we agree on and what we can do for our community.
And normally we want to change those things that we cannot change.
Yeah.
But what we can change is the labels.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
You are Mr. Kent Adams. I am Mr. Phil Tyler.
Yes.
I don't have to be put into a narrative that dehumanizes me to an extent.
Yes.
If I'm not Phil Tyler, if I'm that black man, it's easier for you then to vilify me.
Yeah.
It's easier for you to be impersonal to me. And the same thing goes for Ken. If you're the old white man, I can vilify you.
We'll never
as
learn
a group
anything. It's too late. Yeah.
Yes, that needs to stop. Again, this is about, are we going to allow good civil discourse to be extinct?
Yeah.
Or can we bring it back from that verge of extinction?
Yeah. Phil, thank you for coming in today. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Yeah.
Are you enjoying your job at Gonzaga?
Immensely.
Is it a little quieter with most of the students gone?
For the next 3 weeks, but it gives us time to recharge and then get back into it. I'll be doing some crime prevention work for the university, so look for a conversation with the crime fighter coming up.
Oh, okay.
Maybe coffee with the crime fighter.
Yeah, well, let's have you in and talk about that, okay?
Sure.
All right. Phil, thank you for coming today.
Yeah,
thank you for all you
always.
do. Thank you for the friendship, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next Tuesday right here on Spokane Talks Live. Have a great week, everybody.
Spokane Talks Live is produced in Spokane, Washington by Spokane Talks Online, LLC, which is solely responsible for its content. To recommend a guest or topic, or to see this program again, please visit our website, SpokaneTalksOnline.com. Spokane Talks Live is brought to you by our friends at Homes for You and Breakthrough Incorporated. Join us next Wednesday, noon, for another nourishing conversation on Spokane Talks Live.